Back at it again with the facts. Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. Fruits are the part of the plant that come from a flower and the section that contains seeds. The rest is considered vegetables such as stems, leaves, and even flower buds. This means that avocados, beans, cucumbers, and tomatoes are actually fruits. In 2012, Quebec police arrested 4 men for stealing 6 million pounds of maple syrup with a total value of over $18 million from a warehouse. Well, someone likes pancakes. The Luther Burger is a bacon cheeseburger served on a Krispy Kreme donut bun and is named after R&B singer Luther Vandross. There's a rumor that Vandross invented the burger when he ran out of hamburger buns. When a woman is breastfeeding, a non-threatening lump may form in her armpit. This is because the glands in the breast can become too full of milk, and so the milk will overflow into the surrounding area. A plaque made for a 2002 Martin Luther King Day celebration accidentally thanked James Earl Ray, the man who pleaded guilty to assassinating King in 1968 for keeping the dream alive instead of actor James Earl Jones. Stomach acid is very acidic with pH measurements ranging from 1 to 3. This means that stomach acid is in the same approximate category as battery acid. 1 drop of stomach acid could eat through a piece of wood. In the NASA meatball design, the sphere represents a planet, the stars represent space, the red chevron is a wing representing aeronautics, and finally there's an orbiting spacecraft going around the wing. The world's first commercial jumbo jet was built in 1970 called the Hwan T Trip Jumbo Jet and is now being used as a high-concept restaurant in Seoul, South Korea. When an ant dies, it lies where it fell for 2 days before the rest of the colony carries it away to a pile of other dead ants. Coins are sometimes left on military headstones to tell the deceased soldier's family that someone stopped by to pay their respects. And different coins have different meanings. A penny means that you visited, a nickel means that you and the deceased soldier trained at boot camp together, a dime means that you served with the soldier, and a quarter means that you were there when the soldier was killed. The Jägermeister logo represents Saint Hubertus, a 7th century German hunter and the patron saint of hunters. Bono got his name when his friends started calling him Bonovox, after the neighborhood hearing aid store Bonovox, which is Latin for good voice. He's been known as Bono ever since. There's a festival called the Montana Testicle Festival that's 5 days long and has been happening in Clinton, Montana ever since 1982. The main event of which is the competitive eating of bull testicles. To show their support for marriage equality, Ben & Jerry's banned Australians from buying 2 scoops of the same flavor at its scoop shops across the country. There's a species of spider in Australia named the wraparound spider that have the ability to wrap their bodies around small branches to hide from predators like birds. There was an instrument called the harmonica that was 37 glass bowls of different sizes threaded together on an iron spindle and color-coded with paint to identify the notes. People who played it reported side effects such as ringing in the ears, disorientation, and even madness. To defend their territory, the grasshopper mouse stands on 2 legs and produces a high-pitched howl resembling a wolf. It's estimated that 60% of the construction done at Machu Picchu was underground. Much of that consists of deep building foundations and crushed rock used as drainage. In 2010, Merriam-Webster's 10th edition dictionaries were removed from 4th and 5th grade classrooms in Southern California due to the addition of the definition of oral sex. Squids squirt water out fast enough to propel themselves through the air at up to 40.3 kilometers per hour. The word usher contains 4 personal pronouns: us, she, he, and her. Ophidiophobia is the abnormal fear of snakes and actually affects about 1/3 of all adults. 2.8 million churros are sold at Disneyland every single year. Churro. In 2016, neuroscientist Dr. Paul Zak checked the love hormone oxytocin levels in both cats and dogs after playing with their owners to see which animal cares more for their owners. What he found is that the hormone increased by an average of 57.2% in dogs and only 12% in cats. The countries with the most public holidays are Colombia and India, who both have about 18 days off a year. M&Ms were originally sold exclusively to the military after the United States entered the war as part of American soldiers' rations. In 2009, a bird was blamed for a technical fault at the Large Hadron Collider after dropping a baguette on it. That's about as random as you can get. The Disney Channel movie High School Musical originally began as a script in 1999 entitled Grease 3. Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake were supposed to star as the children of Danny Zuko and Sandy Olsen from the 1978 film. In 2010, a 20-year-old man named Julian Barreau spent 6 months looking for the person who killed his online character in a virtual knife fight while playing Counter-Strike. When he eventually found the man living only a few kilometers away, he went to his house with a kitchen knife and stabbed him in the chest. In an episode of the sitcom Three's Company called The Charming Stranger, actor John Ritter accidentally flashed his testicles on camera. The episode originally aired on the 20th of December 1983, but it played on television for 17 years until a viewer alerted Nickelodeon in 2001. Pope Francis has never been on the internet in his life, but his Pontifex Twitter account has almost 18 million followers. In Indonesia, electric blue fire streams down the Kawah Ijen volcano at night. The glow is caused by the combustion of sulfuric gases. The president's wife was originally called the Presidentress until Zachary Taylor referred to Dolly Madison as our First Lady while eulogizing her in 1849. The world's largest type of peach is the Flamin' Fury PF 24007 peach. It originated at Paul Friday Farms in Coloma, Michigan, and they measure up to 7.62 centimeters in diameter at maturity. That's a bigger peach! Cats' eyes glow red in the dark because light reflects on a layer of tissue called the tapetum lucidum, which is on the back of the eyeball behind the retina. In May of 2017, a group of 40 scientists from Museums Victoria and the Australian government's Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation caught a fish in the Gervais Bay that had no face. It turned out to be a Typhlonus gnossus a type of fish that hasn't been seen in the area in over a century. The inventor of stop signs, one-way streets, taxi stands, traffic circles, and pedestrian safety islands, William Phelps Eno, never learned how to drive because he believed that it was a fad. In 1999, musician Yo-Yo Ma forgot his $2.5 million 266-year-old cello in the trunk of a taxi. Police actually managed to track it down at a garage in Queens just in time for the evening concert that night. Some animals engage in locomotor play, which is similar to the play of children sledding down a steep hill. Ducks have been observed floating through tidal rapids or fast-moving sections of rivers, and when they've reached the end, they hurry back up to do it all over again. The human eye can detect a candle flame to a distance of 2.75 kilometers away. Research done in 2011 found that judges make more lenient court decisions at the beginning of the day than right after a scheduled break like lunch. Male peacocks make fake mating noises to attract females. This causes more sexually active females to think the male is mating when he's really not. This makes the females believe that males are more genetically fit than others. Drug lord Pablo Escobar was earning so much money at one point that he wrote off 10% of it because of rats eating it in storage. If you add salt to pineapple, it causes it to taste sweeter. This is because table salt is primarily made of sodium chloride, and sodium is very good at reducing bitterness in food, and in this case, it reduces the bitterness in the pineapple. When early trains were invented, some people believed that women weren't meant to move at 80 kilometers per hour because they thought that their uteruses would fly out of their bodies. While the Beatles were recording Hey Jude, Paul McCartney hit the wrong note on the piano and exclaimed "effing hell," which can actually be heard on the song between 2:56 and 2:58. John Lennon insisted that they keep it in the song but bury it in the background because he thought it would be funny that no one would hear it, but they knew that it was there. In terms of per capita volume, Germany consumes the most candy in the world, eating an average of 13 kilograms of chocolate, sugar, and gum. At the French writer Victor Hugo's funeral, over 2 million people showed up in Paris from the Arc de Triomphe to the Pantheon, where he was buried. He shares the crypt in the Pantheon with Alexander Dumas sauce in Émile Zola, and most large French towns and cities have a street named after him. Onions are actually toxic for dogs because they contain a substance called thiosulfate, which canines don't have the enzyme used to digest it. All of the planets in the solar system could fit within the average distance between the Earth and the Moon. And that's it, now you're a little smarter from the knowledge whale. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Maybe leave a like on it if you feel like it. Be sure to check out my brand new fact account called Fact Maniac in the description, and also my brand new podcast. If you do that, I'd be super grateful. Other than that, have a fantastic day. Bye now.